2 weeks before school starts. Yeah, so that really gives people, a couple weeks to make big life choices.
Budget cuts are prompting a local school district to cut some of its bus routes just weeks before the start of school. What parents in Spirit Lake are saying tonight.
Thought I was prepared, but you never really are.
Fast-moving wildfires are forcing people from their homes near Athol and in Spokane and Lincoln counties tonight. We'll have the latest updates on the fires and the efforts to fight them.
From critical fire danger and a smoky haze to a much calmer few days ahead.
We start tonight with some breaking news. Right now, a fast-moving wildfire is forcing level 3 evacuations south of Long Lake and north of Reardon. It is burning in Spokane, Stevens, and Lincoln counties tonight. It is reportedly at around 600 acres in size, and fire crews have dispatched aircraft to fight it. State mobilization has also now been authorized. Level 3 go-now evacuations are in place for people living between Farwell Road and the Spokane River and people living between McLaughlin Road and SR 231. There are currently level 1 evacuations in Stevens County off Highway 231 and Little Falls Road. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. The smoke can be seen billowing over Spokane this evening. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Facebook page has been posting the most up-to-date information along with Spokane County Emergency Management. We will continue to bring you the very latest on this fire as we learn more. Meantime, in Idaho tonight, level 3 evacuations also in place for a wildfire burning near Athol tonight. The Idaho Department of Lands is reporting that fire has burned nearly 700 acres so far, and we have learned that 3 structures have so far been lost. Right now, level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations are in place. According to the Bonner County Sheriff's Office, level 3 go-now evacuations are in place for all residents on Raven Road, Crosswhite Road, Little Blacktail Road, and east of 2268 Sunset Road. The town of Bayview is also under level 1 get-ready evacuations tonight. Right now, evacuees are being sent to the Sagal Elementary School where the Red Cross has set up a shelter tonight. That is where we find KREM 2's Connor McAvoy, who spoke with people who were forced to leave at a moment's notice.
People living in the evacuated areas are being sent to Sagal Elementary School as the Sunset Fire continues to burn. It's car after car coming into the evacuation shelter at Sagal Elementary School.
Went and grabbed what I thought was necessary and drove here. My husband and I have been sitting here very quietly and calmly.
As smoke filled the sky from the Sunset Fire, Chris Legursky says having to leave her 28-year home in Kerrywood was difficult.
Never been evacuated before. Thought I was prepared, but you never really are.
Bob Howard with Bonner County Emergency Management says as crews fight the fire, he and the county's community emergency response team will be taking care of those needing a place to stay.
We're going to provide them some refreshments, try to make them comfortable until such time we have a different plan moving forward for a shelter or if they get released to go back.
Howard says an overnight emergency shelter will be made available for those evacuated, all the while Legursky says she's worried more about her neighbors than she is her home.
We have neighbors that are actually still there. They didn't evacuate.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you worried about them?
I'm very worried about them, yes. But it's their choice. Some people just aren't moving.
Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
A fire in Whitman County that sparked has shut down both directions of State Route 127. It's being called the Central Ferry Fire. The area between State Route 127 and Lake Bryan is currently under level 2 get set evacuation orders. That's about 30 miles west of Pullman. Right now, the Washington State Fire Marshal's office is reporting that fire is roughly 600 acres in size. And to get an idea of just how severe the winds were this afternoon, take a look at your screen. This is a fire that broke out on East Mission and North Green Street today on the eastern edge of Spokane. You can see here just how fast that fire was spreading due to those high winds that were gusting up to 40 miles per hour. On that note, let's get outside right now to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo has been tracking these warm conditions and the windy conditions all day. And Jeremy, what's it like now at this hour?
Mark, still have a light breeze, but emphasis on the light side of that breeze. We sit in the 70s with wind out of the west at about 13 miles per hour. That's enough to sway the branches in the trees, but that is about it. We also have a lot more humidity in the air, 29%, thanks to that cold front now moving through. That is a huge difference. Air quality sits at a moderate due to some of that smoke that moved over. Most of what we saw today came from the Bear Gulch fire burning all the way over in the Olympic Peninsula. Late on in the evening, all of that just kind of dissipated, but you could see those 3 fires Mark just talked about popping up on satellite imagery. Kind of impressive the way that went. Wind calming down greatly, and it looks like overnight our gusts stay around 15 miles per hour. To me, that's not enough to be too concerned about, but as all of the wind settles down overnight, what we do have to worry about is just that smoke settling back to the ground. We're waking up to much cooler temperatures tomorrow, near 60 degrees across much of the region. By tomorrow afternoon, 80s for everyone as cooler air settles in. Clouds and 78 on Friday. Chance of rain returns Friday night.
We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. And take a look at this. This is a shot from our downtown camera, and you can see Mount Spokane completely smoked out this afternoon. As Jeremy mentioned, that Bear Gulch fire burning on the Olympic Peninsula was sending smoke our way today. At this hour, that fire has burned more than 8,000 acres.
So sometimes it can not look so great out there, but if the pollutants remain above us in the upper atmosphere, then air quality isn't necessarily affected. So sometimes it looks worse than it is.
At last check, air quality in Spokane, moderate. That means the air quality is acceptable, but maybe a moderate health concern for people who are particularly sensitive to pollution. If you want to check the air quality where you live, just head to SpokaneCleanAir.org. All right, don't go to bed just yet. Rapid glacier melt around the world disrupting ocean currents. Our Environment Northwest series continues tonight. But first, bus routes cut in North Idaho just weeks before school starts. That story in 90 seconds.